Hello and welcome to the Library Connection. I'm Summer Newman-Ernest. The B.B. Comer Memorial Library staff and board would like to give a special thanks to TV47 for allowing us to showcase our wonderful library and our service to the greater entire Sylacauga community area. Today joining us is Miss Peggy Pursell Rice. She is going to be telling us all about her family history. We're going to talk about the book that her grandfather wrote. But first of all, just a little bit about you. Peggy, how long have you lived in this area? And tell me about your family.
Sure. So I actually have lived in Sylacauga, up until I was about 18, and then I left and went to school and did some different jobs and everything before coming back to work for the farm. And I live in Chelsea with my husband right now, so been in the Sylacauga area for about 30 plus years, honestly. But what's so neat about the family that I had the honor and the blessing to be a part of was that I'm fifth generation in this family that goes back into the 1800s. So my all of y'all, or many of y'all may know about the fertilizer company, which was Pursell Technologies, and then even beyond that, Pursell Industries, Parker Fertilizer. Initially got started in 1904 as the Sylacauga Fertilizer Company. And the man that started that was my great-great-grandfather, DeWitt Parker, who married an Odin. And we all know about Odina.
Right,
so the Odin family even goes back further. So it's just insane, because in today's day and age, you just don't see that level of history. So I'm just amazed that the family history goes back that far.
Well, and what a legacy just to have, and for you to still be here, and such a wonderful community supporter that you continue to, and excited to see the newer generations that y'all are back here and continuing that success and anything that goes on with Pursell Farms, or be it the fertilizer, that only helps Sylacauga. And so we are very grateful for your contribution to this community. So a lot of siblings, right?
Yes.
Tell me about those.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I am the oldest of six. So that means I'm the smartest and the wisest. Not really.
That's
but no, I've had three sisters and two brothers, and so we all graduated from Auburn. We love our Alabama friends, but we all finished at Auburn, and five of the six of us are married, and I have one sibling who is living at the farm right now. So that's Vaughn and her husband Tim. They've got three children, and Tim is our director of marketing at the farm. And then my brother Martin actually just moved back. He started last week, and he's living in Birmingham but working at the farm too. So there's kind of about three siblings right now, kind of getting plugged back into the family business. And so we'll just see how as time progresses, if more will come back.
Right. I think that's great. All the more reason to have lots of kids and grandkids. So there's always somebody to work, right? There's plenty of work to be done. Yep. I know. Well, I want to briefly talk about the library. I guess it's been a few months now when we had a reception for your grandfather. Tell us about, if you want to tell more about him and the book that he actually wrote.
Yeah. So Gramps, as I call him, this is Jimmy Pursell, but we all know him fondly as Gramps. So he felt led to write his history, the story of his contribution to the family business, in a book. And it includes that relationship that they have with Jim Neighbors, as many of y'all know about Jim Neighbors being from Sylacauga, and the amazing contribution that he's made to the entertainment world as Gomer Pyle. And but yeah, so the fertilizer business really took off to a national and international scene because of my granddad's his hard work with pushing a product called Stay Green. And so it's just incredible to go back, for me as a grandchild, and just think, wow, he did so much work to really move the company forward. And obviously, you can work and work and work, but we also like to give credit where credit's due and just thank the Lord for putting opportunities in our path and for allowing him and then like my dad and other people to capitalize on those and to really create something that would hopefully bless this community and then Fayetteville and surrounding communities and even the golf course industry as a whole. So yeah, but it includes family stories too, and just things that really will help the further generations on in the family. Hopefully, really be grateful for those, what his contribution was. So
right, and I think that those books are available at our library as well. Finding the Ultimate Multiplier, the story of Jimmy Pursell. So a must read for everybody from Sylacauga for sure.
Absolutely,
definitely. So we were talking about Jim Neighbors, and I'd seen something recently on Facebook that there was some story that actually even got pulled into a real episode of. Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So this is really funny. Jim Neighbors actually introduced my grandparents. I literally I owe my existence to Gomer Pyle. I know. So, but anyway, he ended up being best man usher and singing in their wedding at the time when Gramps and Grammy, as I call them, when they got married. Mr. Pursell, Jimmy, was in the Air Force and he was stationed in Sacramento, California. And so with Jim Neighbors being in California doing his entertainment stuff, he just headed on up there to Sacramento and they were going to get married there on the Air Force Base. Well, he lost the ring.
Oh, no.
And Jim Neighbors lost the ring, and so they actually made an episode of Gomer Pyle, USMC, about him losing this ring, and they're literally our characters, Jimmy and Chris Pursell, in this episode, and it's just the funnest thing,
How neat is that?
But anyway, eventually they found the ring, and
thank goodness.
Obviously they got married.
They got married, ring or not.
Yeah,
right.
Yep. So, yeah.
But it provides a wonderful story, I know, and that they remained close friends, which is great. So your educational background, we talked about you went to Auburn, and now you have an official position with Pursell Farms. What is that position and what does it entail?
Sure. So my position now is sales manager at Pursell Farms, and many of y'all may recall the fertilizer business, and we actually sold that in 2006. And so with the property and the facilities that we had in place at the farm, with the experience at Farm Links, rather, we decided to just take all that and move in the direction of becoming a full service hospitality location, a resort, if you will. And my specific role deals with the corporate business or group business, and so a lot of times I'll be calling on different corporations and other organizations, law firms, accountancy firms, construction agencies, and things like that, to see if they're looking to do any corporate meetings or retreats. And so then we'll schedule those at the farm, and it'll include meetings, a meeting space. It'll include team building activities such as skeet shooting, or even a golf lesson, or fishing, or what have you, cooking classes. And then we do all of the culinary on site, so breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, receptions, bars, those kinds of things. We do it all there, and so it's really fun. It's really fun to be able to serve as an ambassador for the farm, for the family, out into the surrounding cities and in Alabama and even in other states.
Right. Well, and what a great location, and so that people, it is one-stop shop. They come there for whatever the corporation or conference it is, and you have everything to offer, as well as the entertainment, in a beautiful locale. If you haven't been out there, it's just beautiful just to even drive through to see everything. Peggy, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about Pursell Farms, everything you have going on, as well as your grandfather's book.
This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Nichols Lawson Middle School, brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home and Reams Custom Home. Congratulations, G.G. Hackett and Madeline Friday from Nichols Lawson Middle School. This month's Star Student of the Month has been brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Reams Custom Homes, and TV 47.
At Fort Williams Pharmacy, you won't find motor oil, garden hoses, or mountain climbing gear. No, they don't have that. What they do have is a professional, friendly staff that understands your needs. Filling prescriptions is their primary business, and they take it seriously. They also have a drive-through window for your convenience and free local delivery. Most of all, Fort Williams Pharmacy knows your time is valuable, so when it's time to fill your prescriptions, you need it done fast, friendly, and accurately. Fort Williams Pharmacy, our family, caring for your family.
This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Sylacauga High School is brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home and Fort Williams Pharmacy. Congratulations, Jalen Thomas from Sylacauga High School. This month's Star Student of the Month has been brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Fort Williams Pharmacy, and TV 47.
Hello and welcome back to the Library Connection. I'm Summer Newman Ernest, and joining me today is Mrs. Peggy Pursell Rice, newly married. How long have you been married?
8 months.
8 months. Oh, just a newlywed. We've been talking about her family, the family business, and it's evolved over time. I know it started
definitely.
with the fertilizer, and so that's why we were talking about, we want to give as many plugs as possible to your grandfather's book that can be purchased at the library about his story, family stories, funny stories, and everything that really has made Pursell Farms and the fertilizer industry such a huge success because of his legacy and the family's legacy. And so I know that your position with Pursell Farms, you said you're working as a sales manager, which includes corporations bringing them in, but there's lots of other things that even individuals can enjoy at Pursell Farms, right?
Absolutely. So, and that's the direction that we're wanting to go. Obviously, if you ever go to a resort, you see all different kinds of people and their purposes for coming there. Corporate business is great because you put like multiple heads in beds, and that's how you really make money. But but then you have couples that want to get away for a retreat, or you have golf groups, obviously. And we're best known for the Farm Links Golf Club, which is still the #1 public golf course in the state, and has been that consistently for the past about 5 years. And just grateful for that. And then, we'll even have, we'll have groups of kids that'll come out to the farm. We do archery tournaments and just random things like that. We just really want to be able to serve the community in whatever way that we can. The whole property is 3,200 acres, and so obviously there's the buildings and things there, but just like you were saying, just the scenery is just unbelievable.
It is.
I still just kind of have to stop and just stare at all of it, even after living there for so long. But just really wanting to, like I said, just be able to serve the community as best we can with what we have. So
right, and so I know the golf course, like you said, rated #1, and anyone can go out and play.
Absolutely.
It's not a private course, which is great. And so beyond the golf course, I know you've even expanded in a partnership with Orvis.
Yes. So for those of y'all that aren't familiar with Orvis, it's one of the premier fly fishing and upland bird shooting companies that's in the world, really. And they're based out of New England, and they were looking for a location around the southeastern United States to put their second shooting grounds facility. Found out about the farm and decided that we had enough ideals and qualities and alignment. They were like, we're going to put it right here in Fayetteville, Alabama.
Wow.
And so all of the Orvis retail stores, if some of y'all ever go up to Birmingham to the Summit, you'll see a retail store there, and but they're everywhere around the southeast. And I was in Destin this past weekend, they have one there. But they're sending all of their clients to the Orvis shooting grounds at Pursell Farms if they want that one-on-one type experience, where they're being taken out by a guide to learn more about the shooting techniques, to learn more about fly fishing techniques and things like that. And So it's great. It's really great to opportunity to put this area on display even more.
Right,
So,
right. Well,
yeah.
what a name recognition. Yeah, my husband, I mean, most men are harvest or fly fishing, but to have that here. And so I think what's so wonderful for our community and for Sylacauga is that these people coming in who might not ever stop in Sylacauga, that they're coming here and hopefully spreading the word, and more people seeing the wonderful things that we have to offer, not only at Pursell Farms, but in the community as well. And so there's fishing, right?
Right.
Available.
Right. So as far as outdoor activities, we have fishing, fly fishing classes there. We do ski shooting. We've got a 12-station sporting clay course where you can drive around on a cart and go around to all the different stations, and then there's a 5-stand, which is kind of a stationary spot with five different spots that you can shoot from. And we do a big dove shoot every year around the opening of the season in September. We do quail hunting, duck hunting, pheasant hunting. So there's all sorts of fun opportunities if you want that outdoor experience.
Exactly, which is something that I think, some people need that, or if you live in the city or work, it's a weekend getaway or whatever it be, and you don't have to be a golfer, and you don't have to be male. I know with the shooting and stuff.
Absolutely, you don't have to be male.
Yeah, it can be a girl's trip as well.
Exactly.
Even better. Even better. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more with Peggy Pursell Rice.
Okay.
This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Indian Valley Elementary School is brought to you by King's Pawn and Jewelry and Tax Service and Curtis and Son Funeral Home. Congratulations, Jackson Carter from Indian Valley Elementary School. This Star Student of the Month was brought to you by King's Pawn and Jewelry and Tax Service and Curtis and Son Funeral Home.
Recycling, it's nothing new, but how many of us actually do it? What's the point? Every time you toss out something that could be recycled, you're throwing away money. Recyclables are valuable, and when items like these are recycled, they are sold to businesses and made into new products. Alabama's recycling industry employs thousands of people, and more recycling equals more jobs, which equals more money put back in your local economy. See, recycling just makes sense. Let us show you how recycling works in and for Alabama.
This month's TV 47 Star Student of the Month from Fayetteville School is brought to you by Survival Prepper 101 and State Representative Ron Johnson. Congratulations, Darden Walton from Fayetteville School. This Star Student of the Month has been brought to you by Survival Prepper 101, State Representative Ron Johnson, and TV 47.
Hello and welcome back to the Library Connection. I'm Summer Newman-Ernest. Joining us is Miss Peggy Pursell Rice. We've been talking about her family business, her grandfather's book, which is available at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library, Finding the Ultimate Multiplier, The Story of Jimmy Pursell, which is a must-read. Everybody needs to read it, and to find out more about his success. And so it's one of those things that, it's like a motivational book. You don't have to be in the fertilizer business or anything to enjoy it and to appreciate the legacy that he has and has given you guys to take over now. So it's a big responsibility, right?
Crazy.
I know. So we're talking about all the activities at Pursell Farms, and I know that there's been a lot of special events lately. I've seen things via Facebook and social media, something even recently with military, right?
That's right. So we had a group of wounded warriors, Marines actually, that were with us all last week, and it's called the Semper Fi group, and so they were with us for a few days. They were doing a golf school, and Orvis ended up giving them some complimentary fly fishing lessons and things like that. But it was just very, very humbling to be in the presence of these people, and we've had some really important people, if you will, come to the farm, but it was completely different when I walked around these soldiers, and some of them have missing limbs, and some have these permanent burn marks on their skin, and you're just kind of like, I literally don't even know what to say.
Right.
But it was such an honor and a privilege to have them there, and we on their final night that they were there, we've talked about gym neighbors and the thing, so we actually showed them that episode of Gomer Pyle USMC with the Jimmy Pursell thing in there. But right before we showed that to them, Jim Neighbor sent them a message straight from Hawaii, just thanking them for their service. And we also gave them all these bound books that we had made with handwritten notes from people all around the farm in the Sylacauga community, just thanking them for their service. And so, I mean, it just, that really helps put your day-to-day life in perspective. Because there are people out there that are really putting it all on the line for us to just get up and just do the daily grind every day. So yeah, it was really neat.
That's what I just can't. I know any military personnel, I just have the utmost respect, and just you can't even imagine what they've gone through and the sacrifices that they make and their families make every day. And so thankful for them, and thankful that you guys had an opportunity to give back to them. And so I know that they love that. Not only did you have the military here recently, but you have a golf tournament coming up very soon.
So actually tomorrow is the Let's See 43 tournament. And what that is, some of y'all may know or recall the football player Philip Lutzenkirchen. He was number 43 for the Auburn Tigers and was a part of the 2010 national championship team with Cam Newton. And he was tragically killed in a drunk driving accident last year. And he was always his father says he's always been a good kid, and never was always that role model type figure. And there was just one time where he and one of his buddies just, had a little bit too much, and they weren't buckled in their seatbelt, and they lost control of their car, crashed, and so now what his father is doing with the Let's See 43 Foundation is he is going around and spreading the word about, what driving under the influence and just the effects of alcohol. And so at this tournament, we will have Nick Saban, and we'll have Gus Malzahn. We'll have Tom Rinaldi with ESPN. He'll be officiating this ceremony and this whole event there. And so, we're really grateful and excited again, to just be able to utilize the farm to get out a good message to people that whether they're young or old about the effects of alcohol. But yeah, so anyway, so that's happening just this week. So
wow, that's exciting. Yeah, anytime you have the coaches, the football coaches, of course, that's a big draw. And I know it was neat that I read that the way that the golf tournament works is that everybody gets to play a hole, right, with I think one of the coaches. In fact, my husband said, "Oh my goodness, I'm not nearly good enough to do that."
I know.
But that's exciting.
I wouldn't be able to move. I'd be just kind of frozen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So not only that, but a lot of culinary things going on as well. That you have a renowned chef, and people can come out for meals anytime.
Absolutely.
Right?
So the Clubhouse Grill is open every day of the week. If you are just wanting a change from the offerings that we have here in the Sylacauga community, you can go there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And so we have an executive chef there, Andrea Griffith, and so we try to keep the items on the menu rotated as best we can. We have a garden on site where we try to loop in some of that, farm to table element there to that kind of sustainable part, which is kind of the in thing now, but it's really, it shouldn't be in, it's kind of common sense. Right. We should all be able
to
kind
outside, put it on your plate. Yeah.
Survive,
Sure.
But anyway, so it's, that's kind of, one of the other things that you can enjoy rather than just going out and staying. You can actually just go out there and enjoy a wonderful dinner.
And I know especially around holidays like Mother's Day, you have even more specialized or buffet, not a buffet, but a brunch recently.
So and that's, for the different holidays, and we'll try to incorporate a special event around that. And Mother's Day was one that we just did recently. And we do one every Valentine's Day. I know that it's a special meal that is cultivated around a couple's, it's a little bit more intimate and kind of adults only things. We do the wine and food pairings and things, and for the holidays as well we'll do special food events too. So
that's so wonderful. And even there's a facility I know now that you've converted into a barn for events, right?
So when we say barn, it doesn't have hay in it.
No,
but
no horses.
No horses or hay, but we we as part of moving along the lines of becoming a full-service resort, we had a building that was kind of more geared toward corporate events, and so it's just not as warm and aesthetically friendly.
Right.
And we kind of went in and remodeled it and gave it kind of more of a homey feel. And so, you know, it's got that red wooden exterior that barns look like, but on the inside it's really nice. Got some chandeliers and some new carpet and paint and whatever. But yeah, and it can seat at least 100 people on the inside of that. So it works well for special events, you know, special dinners. We've done a sorority party there, wedding rehearsal dinners, receptions.
Right.
If you just need a space, you can use that.
You got it.
Yeah,
You've got it. There's so much going on. I want to talk about you personally because so excited to have you back here working. A former Miss Sylacauga. What year were you Miss Sylacauga?
2001.
Oh, just a mere baby. And so it's been so great. And my work with the Miss Sylacauga pageant is to have you helping out. You've been a great help this year. And I know it's so exciting that the participants, the girls, like to see a young face to talk to.
You're young.
Oh, no.
Come on.
No, but with interviews, I know you were great with them. And I think one thing that's so interesting is that you and your sisters all sing. Even recently, you sang for the military. The Marines
I
were
did.
there.
That's one of the fun things about working at the farm. If they ever need somebody to sing something, they'll just be like, Peggy, will you come and sing the national anthem for this or whatever? I'm like, sure.
No big deal, the national anthem.
It's 7:45 in the morning, and I'll remember all the words of the national anthem. Yeah.
That's great.
Anyway.
And what I love is that I guess it's, how many years now have you been doing it for Auburn basketball opening?
Oh, right. Yeah. So, I mean, we've done the national anthem, you know, the past couple of years we've done it for basketball. We took a break there for a little while. All the siblings weren't together.
Right.
But when we were in college, we would do a lot of sporting events. So we do basketball, we do gymnastics, swim meets.
Wow.
So,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
So, you know, no big deal. It's just the national anthem. That's fine for, you know, thousands of people, but it's so great to see, you know, and I love with Facebook and those kind of things that, you know, if you're not at the basketball game, you can still see it.
That's
or whatever
right.
the event is. That's wonderful. So you work with, I know, Miss Sylacauga pageant, some things in the community, the chamber, right?
Yes. So I'm on the board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce, and so that's been really neat. I got plugged in with that last year, and so even though I was living in Birmingham, just really helped to kind of get me tied back into the community. Right. And Lord willing, you know, my husband and I will be able to move back here and get even more plugged in. But yeah, just we've got some really special people in this community that really care a lot about it, and are sacrificing a lot of time and their gifts and talents, resources to just really help move this community forward. And yeah, so I just loved really kind of get plugged back in and get to know some of these special people like Summer.
Well, it's like anytime we're so excited to have young people coming back, and I know your husband's a dentist.
He is.
So maybe we will be visiting him in the near future as well, but just to have all of these families come back and people that love Sylacauga and have a vested interest in it, and with such a family history, I know that you definitely do. I want to remind everyone again that you can grab Gramps' book.
Yes,
Mr. Pursell. Finding the Ultimate Multiplier, the story of Jimmy Pursell, available at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library. A must read, we said, and that hopefully we will see more and more of you around town, in your family, and just exciting to see the things happening at Pursell Farms. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Library Connection.